Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So is Lydia here? So thank you for stopping by. So
Ryan Little.
So I'm here to share with you some of the things that made me to quit my job when I started. I started this job in a microfinance bank. It's actually a new office, so I just started with them. So these are the tips that if you're experiencing these things, it's time for you to step back and think about your life, because once you die, they will replace you tomorrow and today. So that's the thing. So this thing I'm about to mention, and these are points that if you're experiencing that, you need to step back and look after your mental health. So the thing is that I feel drained every time I come back from work. Like I feel exhausted. I'm not saying that every job they don't feel exhausted. I see that this kind of feeling that anytime I'm coming back to my house, I'll be like, wow, I'm coming back to paradise. I feel so worked up at work. No time. Like we don't even have break time at work. I feel so derailed while coming back from work. And another thing is that I feel so miserable. Seriously, I started this job. I was happy that I got a job. That kind of thing back then in the country. Like there's no job, you get one job. So I was feeling miserable. Like what I mean miserable, I don't feel happy that I have this job. I feel so miserable. Seriously, there's no atom of happiness in me. Anytime I'm going to job, I feel like wow, let me go and start suffering again. That kind of thing. And one thing again about this job that made me to quit is that I calculated my expenses, my feeding, my transportation. Back in Lagos, transportation is takes a lot of our money, and we are paid peanut for this. We are paid peanut for it. Even the risks are rushing buses. Waking up very early. When I wake up very early in the morning to go to work, I come back very late. So I checked my expenses. I was feeling miserable. So yeah, and that made me to quit my job. And another thing is that I don't have time for myself. When I started the job, I barely had time for myself. It's not as if I had somewhere to go, but there's something like coming back. This thing they say 9 to 5 job. My job was listed there 9 to 5 job, but I leave my house very early at 6 o'clock so that I can get to office 7:30. I come back sometimes 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. I mean at night. So I don't have time for myself. Some Saturdays we go to office. One Saturday, like we have 4 Saturdays in the month, right? 2 Saturdays we go to office. So I barely have time for myself. Monday to Friday I'm working. Sunday I'm in the church. I barely have time for myself. Okay? So I checked all those things. I was like, no. With this, I'm not sure that I can do this for a long time, or I can continue with them. This anxiety of Sunday night anxiety, of consistently remembering Sunday night anxiety, as once it's Sunday at night my mind will fly. I hate. I'm this kind of person that once it's Sunday night my mind will fly. I barely look out for Monday. Some people like Monday morning be like, wow, Monday morning, even if I have a new clothes I'm going to put on Monday morning, it doesn't make me so happy like that, that kind of thing. So Sunday night I have this anxiety of Sunday nights coming, Sundays coming, because maybe the Saturday before that Sunday I was at the office, and sometimes the office you have meeting, and that meeting start by 8 or 10 to 2. So I barely have time for myself, and once it's Sunday night my mind start flying. I barely see way forward. There's this kind of office you'll be working, you'll be like, okay, next 5 years you have promotion. So there's nothing like there was no structure like structure. Seriously, because I didn't see the way forward. Some the office that you go to, they'll tell you your further education so that you can go to this level. See, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that in that office. And again in that office, okay, fine. My work there is a receptionist, right? So I studied industrial chemistry. Okay, they gave me lesson. I did training for 2 weeks training to do Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. I wonder what a receptionist will be doing with Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. The workload was too much for a receptionist, right? It was too much. I am the one that, because it's actually a growing company and we are just few there because it's actually growing. So I was doing the work of a receptionist, I was doing the work of a like because we give her loan, I was doing the work of, I was giving her the loan, I was doing the calculation of daily contribution, I was doing the mathematics there, I was the one keeping the money, I was the one keeping the key, everything was on my head. Like even on some Saturday when we come for meetings, like I really want to go and buy fuel. At the time our cleaner left. See, at the time, that one this work seriously. At the time our cleaner left, I was actually doing the cleaning job. Like if I come very early, I'll clean before our madam comes, that kind of thing. So I was a kind of like assistant manager, because our manager was actually doing the kind of work I was doing. Then I was there. Then others were not really graduates, so their work was not really like that. But two of us that were graduates that were working there, the workload was too much for me, and it was not specified. So I've said this before, like I'm always burned down. When I mean burned down, like I said, I come to work very early. I make sure I'm in the office by 7:30, because most of the time I was one with the office key. I make sure I come to the office. I go home very late, sometimes 8 o'clock, and the next morning I'm out again. I was so asleep that period. I barely ate. So these are the things I was not feeling the value. I wasn't valued in that office seriously, because sometimes the boss would be shouting like, I was like, why is he shouting? Am I not doing enough job? And sometimes money will be missing, and once money is missing, they does everything for your salary without minding the kind of work, the workload they give you. I was feeling burned out. So the workload was so much, everything, and they paid us still pay for all this stuff. As a lot of time they were paying me 35k. Imagine 35k, I feel from that money, I pay my house rent, don't even want to stop. I pay my house rent for that money. And it's not as if, see, there's nothing like when you come to office, you are valued, right? It's not much like that, but at least there's joy you feel when you come to the office, and that this kind of fulfillment you have when you come back, right? I don't feel that kind of joy. I was not valued. I feel derailed. I feel miserable. Every morning I be like, oh my god. Once I come to the office, it's job, work. We don't even have a break. Some jobs like, if you want that kind of time, they give like 1 hour break, right? We don't have break. If I come to it's just like maybe any period that I'm not answering call, I'm not calling our debtors, I'm not doing the calculation of mathematics, doing the Excel and all that. I just use that few minutes and eat. So that's basically, I was so miserable. Like I cannot continue like that. I wasn't seeing value. I wasn't seeing a way forward with them, that kind of thing. So I was not. So these are the things that made me like, no, I cannot continue. So this part I just mentioned, if you're working, it's time for you to quit that job. It's time for you to quit that job if you're working and you're feeling this kind of way, because you won't have that satisfaction. See, it's good to have a satisfaction. There's this thing that comes with peace of mind if you are doing something. See, this content I'm creating, I feel so happy creating. They cover my home, and the sponsor money is coming. So assuming I know this, that time I was already like, I'll just chill. Seriously, the stress with jumping bus, early morning buses, coming back late, and sometimes for some maybe when our cleaner was sent home, I was the one cleaning before they could find someone else. I was the one doing the cleaning job. I was just so obedient, and what I hated was I wasn't appreciated for it, seriously, because there was a time I got a new apartment, so I was trying to move to my new apartment. So when I just dropped, I came very early. After pay, I dropped my bag and left. So it's unfortunately for me, our boss came before me. He don't really come, he came before me. God, do you know, he didn't even list, and when you check our roster, my name is always the first person that always come. I'm always very early coming to our workplace, but I don't really know what happened that day. Do you know, they deducted 1,000 from that 95k they are paying me. I felt bad because from all the things I'm doing, I wasn't appreciated. So I think if I was valued, if I was appreciated, they'd be like, no, this girl, for her to come this late, something really happened, that kind of thing. So I didn't even stay long there. I left for my mental health, for my peace. There's this fulfillment in doing something that you want, you do something that you enjoy. So that's life, and that's how it should be. So if you're working and you're feeling miserable, you feel this kind of way, you're just feeling some kind of way like this, I just mentioned, it's time for you to quit. Check back and quit. You will still get a better one or give you a better offer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.